Hello everybody, my name is Thong. Today we're going to do what we call AnythingLLM plus ILMU API by YTL-Labs. So first thing first, of course, you have to go to AnythingLLM, and today we're going to work on my iMac. So you will see that it's more for Mac, and I will be installing the Mac. For others, you guys will be installing the Windows or the Linux version depending on which you want. Mine is a Mac, so all you have to do is install the LLM. Once you install the LLM, you get something like this. It will be installed. Now, what we're going to do now is with the LLM, we can able to use it for agent, for chat, or everything. But of course, if your PC, like my iMac, is 2011, it's really slow. It has very little memory, about 16 RAM. So therefore, we need to actually what we call use an external LLM. Okay, we're going to use the external. Well, you can use the internal, you can use any of this, but what we're going to do is we're going to use a open AI compatible LLM that looks like this. So you have to put in the base URL, API key, then the name of the model that you can use, the model context window, and the maximum that you allow. So now to do this, we're going to use the ILMU API. What we're going to do is we're going to go change screen. We're going to go to ILMU. You logged in, and then of course in your billing, in my case, in my billing, I have purchased the top-up pack for 60 ringgit plus also the standard crawl for 25 per month, and total amount usage. Let's go to the usage. I have 150 million. I use some already, so I use up. So what it does is it uses up the 100 million, the 100 million. Let me correct myself. Okay, and eventually you use the 50. Now for those people who only pay 25 ringgit per month, which is really cheap, you'll be getting what we call the 50 million package. Every month you continue to renew, you get another 50, but however, it does not carry forward. So in that month, like this month, you do not complete your 50 million tokens used up, it will not carry forward to your next month, although you renew it. So every month you get 50 million and you quickly use it. Alternatively, you can use the Crawl Top-Up Pack 2. 2 is a 100 million. This one will expire on a 12-month basis. Yeah, this is pretty long. Yeah, so thus far I've used some. Okay, now and then they also tells you what you use for the Nano, which is a smaller model, and Nano Super, which is a more powerful model. So what we are going to do now is we're going to set up what we call the LLM for AnythingLLM, so that we can actually use it for RAG, retrieval augmented generation, or even for the agent training. Yeah, so let us go back to the website, and then we close this first. Now we go to the API key, and then you can create your API keys are here. You can create an API key. In this case, I'm going to call it AnythingLLM, but in this case I call it iMac, because mine is currently now installed on the iMac. So we create a key. Don't worry about key, because after this video I will just delete it. You won't be able to use it as well. Okay, so the first thing first is, let's see here. We have the key, we have some codes. So then you have of course the base URL. Remember the base URL. You copy this with the 1. You copy, and you go back to your AnythingLLM, you copy paste here, as simple as that. Okay, then you come back again to your key, you just press this one, you copy the key, right? You come over here, you paste the key, then the key will goes in there. And then now the third part, of course, you will go to the ID. So what are we going to use? What is the model we're going to use? We call ILMU Nano. Okay, Nemo Nano. So we're going to copy this, and then we put at the model, and then the context window for it's 26500. Okay, this one normally what I will allow it to be 12800, right? 28. So you press save. Your LLM is saved. Okay, then we come back to this part here, we close it, correct? So you can see LLM is here, but last use, never. It has not been used because we just programmed it. Now, for those people, you can just set it. In my case, I set it for local LLM. I just give it a label. Okay. Now we come back to this one. Yeah, AnythingLLM. Okay, and then we use this particular key to reverse out to the chat. Here is the chat. This is what we call API. Okay, API is basically what I named it. My chatbot. It stands for AI, personal intelligence. So the first question: who are you? So obviously it answers, I am ILMU, an AI assistant developed by YTL-Labs. I'm here to help you with information, any question, and assist with various across a range of topics. How can I support you today? Can you speak in Bahasa Melayu? Obviously, we know ILMU can. Of course, it says, can you speak in Mandarin? Of course, it can. Can you speak in Tamil? Yes, I can communicate. Do you have any question? Obviously now it doesn't write in any Tamil wordings. So then after that you can, do you know any jokes in Malay? Right? So, kenapa ayam melintas jalan untuk sampai ke sisi lain? Okey, silap lagi. Ini satu klasik. Kenapa ayam melintas jalan untuk sampai ke sisi lain? Of course, this is one of the joke. But the point is, it was using ILMU, Nemo, Nano. It is actually very quick, and it's 276 tokens per second. Now, take note. I am using an iMac 2011, very old model. Today it's already 15 years old. Okay, it has 16 GB of memory, and of course it has what we call the Intel 2-core CPU. Nothing great about it, but here's the catch. I'm able to run this now. We have done all this on the LLM. Let's go back to this part here. Okay, first thing first, click here. You see, it just now was like 10,000. Now it goes up to 30,000. We have been several requests, and then here are the tokens input today. I didn't use it, just now it was empty, and then the output was 500 plus. So, but then please take note, although you see this number is very big, if you take this number and divide with a calculator, you will see that you can really have a long time chatting with it. But the thing is, you are paying either 25 ringgit for 50 million, or you can top up for 35 million tokens for 30 ringgit, which is actually 3 chicken rice, right? Plates of rice, or 60 ringgit for 100 million tokens. This is really cheap for a local LLM, and of course you're able to talk in 3 languages. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, what else do you need? Yeah, one last thing before we tell you. See, so since it's working, it tells you the last time we used it is 7:17 p.m. That's now. So with this, you can actually install your what we call local LLM. Instead of using a local LLM, you use what we call a LLM by ILMU API, ILMU AI, onto your AnythingLLM, and of course then after that you can have training skills for your agents. You can also do the other thing is you can upload on your documents and educate it so that all your documents, if you are a company, your document doesn't leak out to other people. If you are doing your own self-studies and you have a lot of notes that you don't want to give other people or benefit in the general public to AIs that are basically on the net, then you can use this information. The other thing is, of course, you can fetch data from the website, right, and program into it. I give you a simple example. Let's we do a https://thongchiwa.com. That's my personal website. We press it a flash. It will script. It goes to the link. It scripts everything down, and of course, it will use it for knowledge bases. So with that, you see, this is the cool thing of using ILMU API into AnythingLLM on a very old. So since it's scripted, it has the information, you can actually move it this way, right? You can move it to the workspace. Since you move it to the workspace, AIPI or AI personal intelligence, that's mine, basically then you have propagated your own AI in your very old PC using AI processing from YTL in Johor, okay, to do everything. So don't throw away your OPC. And from me, Thong Chiwa, have a great day and have fun using ILMU API. Bye bye.